In my mind, this thumbnail was gonna be so cute if I was like, I wanted to be over here and then have like a, I'm like tough, and then have the title over here. That's not gonna work. Hey y'all, it's Care. I'm in front of my books today. I wanted to get in front of the gals. I never show them off in like these sit down videos, and I've been working on the shelves recently, and I have to say, I've done some rearranging. I don't think anyone cares, but I decided that we're not gonna stack horizontally anymore. We're just gonna go straight across in rows. Now, let's go ahead and get this obligatory intro out of the way, how I'm so surprised it's already halfway through the year and how the mid-year book freakout tag is probably my favorite video to film. But first, I just wanted to remind you that I do have a link in my description box that if you click it, it'll send you to the Ana Luisa jewelry website. And if you want to go shopping on there, if you use my link or if you use my code CarolineJohnson10, then you can get 10% off of your entire order. So I've got a little bit of Ana Luisa going on here. I've got these double hoop earrings here, the scarlet earrings and the Eve's necklace. Go check out the links. You don't have to get those, but that's just what I'm wearing today. Now, let's get started with the tag. Question number 1 is, what is the best book that you have read so far in 2021? We're really not holding back here. We're just jumping straight into the deep end. Another reason I wanted to sit in front of my books today is because I kind of drafted out some responses here, but I wanted just to be able to look around too and grab books as I think of them. But what is immediately coming to mind for my very favorite book that I've read so far this year, it's not going to be super surprising if you watch my videos, but it is, where is it? Did I lose it? Oh no, it's up here. It's House of Leaves. This is my favorite book of the year so far, and it's gonna be really difficult for anything to top this book. We have a lot going on here in this story, but what it really boils down to, nope, there's no quick way to do it. Part of this story is about a family that moves into a house, and then the house is paranormal, and we're following them through these found footage clips of a documentary that they were trying to make while they were there. And then the other part of the story is just about this man named Johnny Truant and his life, and he's kind of editing this book, and he's telling his own life in the footnotes of this story. It is horror, but the thing that really puts people off about this book is just the way that it's told, because you have to like flip around and read part of the front and then part of the back, and then you gotta read the footnotes. It can be distracting if you're not super into it, but it worked perfectly for me. But really quickly, I feel like that answer is kind of a cop-out, because even though that is the best book that I've read so far this year, it's hard for that to be like my #1 recommendation. So I've got 2 recs in mind that I want you guys to go read if you haven't read them yet. One is Penance by Kane Minato. Grab it. Right here, I love me some Penance. It's a Japanese revenge story that is just so intense, so fast-paced, and really short. And then also, I just had it, oh, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. Right here. This is another one that is just super fast-paced. These are both thriller books, and these are like my #1 recommendations of the year so far. I know that wasn't the question, but I wanted to like recommend these books in this video. Question number 2 is, what is the best sequel that you have read so far in 2021? Without a doubt, first of all, I don't read many series at all, and I feel like I've only read 2 sequels so far this year, so this is a very easy answer for me. It is Wild at Heart by, oh, why did it just leave me? K.A. Tucker. It is the second book in the Simple Wild series. Eventually one of these books is gonna fall on my head, and then we're all gonna be crying. Yeah, this is the cover. I'm not gonna tell you what this book is about because like minor spoilers for Simple Wild, but Simple Wild is about this girl who's a city girl from Canada, and she goes out to the Alaskan wilderness to take care of her father, who she finds out his health is declining, and then once she gets out there, she meets this grumpy pilot named Jonah, and they don't get along, but then maybe they do get along. Oh, it is so fun. Okay, whatever. This is the second book in that series, and I loved it. The next question is a new release that you have not read yet, but you really want to. I have this book, but it is under a stack of a lot of other books way over there. So my answer for this is The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I'm actually very embarrassed that I've not read this book yet because I've been hyping it up to you guys for so long. I've started it and I really like it, but I think I want to read this if I ever have a 3-day vacation. So maybe when the 4th of July is coming up soon, I get those 3 days off work. Look, I'm just a slow reader. Unless I'm reading a thriller book or a horror book or something that I just can't put down, or if it's less than 300 pages, I I can't read a book in a day or two. I can't do it. So I really want to dedicate some time to people we meet on vacation because I know I'm gonna love it, and that's my reasoning for why I've not read it yet. Question number 4 is, what is your highest anticipated release for the second half of the year? My initial thought was Survive the Night by Riley Sager, but that actually comes out next week, so at the end of June. So, you know, I am just not your go-to gal for like upcoming releases. I really just find out about books right before they come out or after they're already out, and then if it sounds good, I want to read it. I do keep up with authors that I already have read from and I've enjoyed, and I'm like looking forward to what they do next, but I am just not, I don't know, I'm not even someone who reads a lot of new releases. I have recently because my most highly anticipated books have come out recently, but I've literally already read all of those and I'm just gonna go back to my backlist for a while. I'm rambling for no reason, but my answer for this question is that I'm really looking forward to Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, which doesn't make any sense. I am such a Sally Rooney stan. I ride for Miss Rooney and I have never read anything that she has written. It doesn't make any sense, but I've started a few of her things. Does anyone else feel like I'm really low in the frame? Maybe that was just me. Now I'm crooked. I just got a new neighbor downstairs and I know he's like, why is this girl yelling? My whole point is just that I know I'm gonna love Sally Rooney because I've gotten like 50 pages into Normal People and Conversations with Friends, and then I'll put them down. Her books are very put downable to me, but that does not mean that I don't love the writing and love how she does her characterizations. Just right now in the phase of life that I'm in, I'm having a hard time finishing books if they aren't super fast paced or there's not like a mystery or something that's compelling me to keep turning the pages. I've not been doing as well reading from my favorite genres. Like I've not been reading any lit fic, I've not been reading much contemporary, anything hard-hitting, because I love those character-driven stories, but my patience is just like this thin right now. Anyway, Beautiful World, Where Are You seems like it's gonna follow a group of 4 friends and just how they are navigating their early adulthood, and that reminds me of A Little Life. I'm not comparing the two, but y'all know how much I love that setup for a story, so I'm just so excited to read this book, and I think the cover looks really pretty. And then I have one more too that I'm really excited for. It's called like A Slow Fire Burning. I actually wrote it down. Oh, Beautiful World, Where Are You comes out on September 7th, and A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins comes out on August 31st. And Paula Hawkins wrote The Girl on the Train. She wrote The Woman in the Water. Where is it? I just rearranged all my books. Now I don't know. Into the Water. She wrote Into the Water and why did I forget the other one now? The Girl on the Train. And I love both of those books. I really think that those are great thriller books, and I'm excited to see what she writes next. Question number 5 is, what has been your biggest disappointment of 2021? So this question could go 2 different ways. One is, what is the worst book that you have read this year? Because that's really disappointing. Or, what book were you really looking forward to but it let you down and you weren't into it and it was just kind of meh? I've got a super controversial answer for that one, but let's go around to biggest disappointment first, of just like the worst book that you read this year, because it is The Girls Weekend. So that one's gonna be The Girls Weekend by Jodi Gehrman. I do not even feel like talking about this book anymore, but I did talk about it in a recent reads video that I'm gonna link in the description box if you want to go hear my thoughts. It was just a 1-star book. It just had really bad representation across the board between like mental health rep, and like, I don't know, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but not a good book, and it was just really boring and I hated it. And then also, going back over to just like biggest disappointment, I have to go with The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I have that book up there too, but I'm not standing back up to get it. Look, guys, I'm gonna talk all about it in my wrap-up, so I don't wanna give away too many of my thoughts here. I liked this book. I need you to hear me. I liked The Maidens. It was a 3-star book, but it let me down a lot, and I don't know how else to put it. I loved the atmosphere and I love the writing style. He nailed it. Those were great. But I did not really feel like I was rooting for any of the characters, and then I thought the story was a little boring, and I saw the twist coming early on, and I am not somebody who predicts book endings early, and I'm also not someone who's like put off from predicting a book ending. It doesn't bother me, but like once I kind of got this theory in my head, I couldn't unsee it, and I don't know. It was fine. Look, I liked the book, but it has been my biggest disappointment so far this year. Okay, moving on to biggest surprise of the year. So I'm gonna take this as just literally what has been the book that you thought that you weren't gonna like and then you did really like. Hairpin Ridge by Taylor Adams. I have no reason, like, it's really hard for me to explain why I thought I wasn't gonna like this book, because I loved No Exit, and then this is his next book after No Exit, so I don't know why I was thinking I wasn't gonna like it. I guess I saw a few lukewarm reviews, not even bad reviews, but everyone has just been saying, oh, it's not gonna live up to No Exit. And I'm not saying it did. I didn't love it as much. It's not a 5-star book. I had so much fun. It was so thrilling. And again, it's another one you're just gonna have to wait and hear more of my thoughts in my June wrap up. Next is your new favorite author. So either a debut author or someone who is new to you. So obviously my new to me favorite author is Kanae Minato. I read this book this year, gave it 5 stars. First I read Confessions, gave it 5 stars. Like, I am just completely obsessed with this woman. But these, I think, as far as I know, those are the only 2 books that she has translated to English. So I don't know, I'm out of luck for a little while at least. And the reason that I love her books so much is because I love the simplistic writing style, and I don't know how much is lost in translation from Japanese to English, and if like it's a translated work and that's why the writing seems so clear and simple, but yet it tells me everything I need to know. I don't know, but I am just obsessed with it. And then let me think really quickly of like a new debut author, something that stood out to me about their writing that I would really want to read more from. Actually, I do have an answer for this. I think that I'm gonna go with Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, or not even Honey Girl. My favorite new debut author is Morgan Rogers. Even though Honey Girl wasn't everything I wanted it to be, the thing that I loved the most about that book, it wasn't really the story, but it was just the writing. It was very lyrical and it was very beautiful, and I really do vibe with that when I'm reading literary fiction. So I think that if we went, or contemporary, and I know that Honey Girl was a contemporary book, but it also had that like romance feel, and I feel like it was mismarketed a little bit, and everyone told me it was gonna be romance, and then I don't want to say disappointed, but it was not the book I thought it was gonna be. So I think if I just went into a Morgan Rogers book knowing what I'm signing up for next time, I'm gonna really enjoy it. Next is, who is your newest fictional crush? And I have a great answer for this one. It's Keen from Float Plan. I love Keen, and I don't really have anything to back that up with other than that he's Irish. He's an Irish man. He's very charming, but overall he is so thoughtful and he is so kind-hearted, and he loves his mom, and it's just like, he's just so wholesome. I just fell in love with Keen in this book. I thought he was so sweet. Question number 9 is, who is your newest favorite character? It is without a doubt Johnny Truant from House of Leaves. I've just never felt like I don't know, how do I say this? This character felt more alive and living and breathing to me than people that I know in my real life. I feel like I know Johnny, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but not that he's characterized so well, but just that like I feel like I know him. He does a lot of things I don't agree with, and okay, it's so hard to explain, but this feels like a living and breathing person, and the last time I read characters like this, it would have been in A Little Life. So yeah, he's definitely my new favorite. But I want to try to avoid duplicating answers as much as possible, and I already mentioned House of Leaves, so I do want to mention that I really liked the woman from Convenience Store Woman. I felt very seen in that whole character, and just how she really likes having a simple job but just doing it to the best of her abilities. And then there's like great commentary about different societal norms and like how she should be acting and what she should be doing, and kind of how she decides to combat that, and like I really love that character too. Next is a book that made you cry. I think that only 2 books have made me really cry, like cry this year, because I'm not gonna lie, I will shed a single tear just about every book I finished. If there's like a great ending line that sums everything up, I'll get a little tear going. But I bawled my eyes out in Float Plan, just kind of for like, it was warranted, like it was just a lot of build up going on, and I just felt teary that whole book, even though it was like a fun reading experience. But I tell you what, I lost my mind in Second First Impressions, and I was going to include this sobbing clip in my reading vlog for that book, but it got scrapped. So I'm just gonna share with you the footage of me reading the last like 50 pages of that book about a month ago, because things got nasty. I feel like I need to clarify that this is not an inherently sad book. I was crying because some things happened that were just so sweet that my brain couldn't compute like what was going on, and we were not used to that kind of kindness and just sweetness, and my heart just swelled up and exploded, and I started crying. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I just have one solid answer for this. It is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is about a woman who kills men that are evil monster men, and it's completely warranted. I don't know if I should be saying that, but it's very like vigilante style and very much like revenge, but amazing. It made me so happy. I swear, I actually scrolled through my Goodreads earlier and I was like, okay, let me jot down every time a book like just really made me happy. And I had scrolled up all the way back to the beginning of January and I had written down one book. It was They Never Learn. I would reread this book. Like, I think I might reread it in the fall. I loved it that much, and I don't own it. I actually read the ebook on Scribd, and so I think I want to buy a physical copy and have a little reread around October. Question number 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you have bought or received this year? Definitely. Let me pull it out. It's one of my current reads, actually. It's The Siren by Catherine St. John. I have never seen a more beautiful book cover. I love how we have the vibrant colors that are just so eye-catching, and we have a design that's kind of giving us what's going on in the book. We have Hollywood starlet sitting out in the ocean, like on an island. We've got a boat over here. We have the hot summer sun with the ocean. So we know the vibe of this book, and yet it is so simple. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm so obsessed with this. Question number 13 is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I am interpreting this as, what books are you currently reading that maybe you have been reading for too long and you need to really get on it and just finish them the second part of the year? I literally could pull my footage from when I did this tag last year, and it would be the same books, and I'm so embarrassed, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pick different books to talk about. I definitely need to finish The Devil and the Dark Water because I'm on page, I just looked the number and it left my brain. 254 of this. I've dedicated so much time to reading this book and I'm not feeling it, and none of my friends were feeling it, but I love the cover so much, and I like Stuart Turton's other book and I want it to sit on the shelf with him. I don't want to unhaul this book. I'm gonna finish it, and I need to finish it this year. Ooh, I also, let me make sure, I keep like getting out of focus. I also really need to finish the final revival of Opal and Nev because this is another one that I started it and I'm on page 50 and I'm really enjoying this book and it's a 5-star prediction for me, and then I just put it down. I don't understand why I do that. Question 14 is, what is your favorite video that you have posted on your channel this year? I love this question. So my favorite video that I've posted on my channel this year would probably be my video. It's called Ranking 13 Recent Reads, and it was like a March and April wrap up. I don't know, I just felt like I had it really together in that video. You don't ever get to see like the behind the scenes of how I do these, but all I do is I either write in my journal or type on my computer just the list of books that I read that month and then whatever the star rating was for them, and like that's all that I have when I go to sit down and talk. So some days I feel like I sit down and I start talking and I am just on it and all of my thoughts just come right to the front of my mind, and then other times I will sit in front of the camera and go, and then I read Float Plan. This book is about, and then I have to be as still as possible while my brain slowly starts turning the wheels of what was this book about, and then I'll like keep going again, and then I edit all of that out and you don't get to see it. But I really remember when I sat down to film that video, I knew exactly what I was talking about, and I went back and watched it and just felt like, yeah, that was a really good representation of all of my thoughts. But my favorite vlog that I've posted this year would have to be the vlog that I posted last week, which was when Lenny chose the book that I read last weekend.
When Lenny chose the book that I read last weekend.
I had so much fun, number one, filming the video. I also had a really successful reading weekend. I liked both of the books that I read, and then when I was like editing all of the footage and got to watch Lenny running around, and I just felt like I really captured what we do in the span of 2 days and the time that we spend together. And I always know that he's so sweet and I always appreciate him, but just seeing the footage of how much anytime I'm here, like for the whole first half of filming this video, he was sitting on my lap, and you're not seeing that, and like I'm not paying attention to him. But when I was filming that vlog, I had captured all of this footage of him just like following me around and looking at me and sitting on me and licking me and just wanting to be with me, and it really made me emotional. So that's probably my other favorite video that really wasn't that great. I mean, the book content was fine, but like that was my other favorite video that I've put up recently. And the last question is, who are your favorite book community members? So buckle up, because I've got a long list for you here, because I've made a lot of friends over here on BookTube. First, I have to shout out Meredith Elizabeth. Her videos, like she uploads and I can be at work and I'll just be like, oh my gosh, should I risk it all and watch? She is the funniest, sweetest person. Her aesthetic is perfect. She has like the softest, pretty like thumbnails, and just like her whole vibe. She's just like, her voice relaxes me. I could go on and on about Meredith. I love her opinions. Did I mention how hilarious her edits are? Like she edits her videos funnier than anything. She should be a professional. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about Meredith. Brennan Dunaway. Brennan! I love Brennan. We are some Kentucky girls. She's still there. I was just born in Kentucky, but we kind of bonded over that. And I love this girl. Her energy is so fun. She's so funny when she's like is explaining books, and like she's hilarious. She can talk me into reading just about anything too. Like I'll have my little pen and pad writing down, okay, Zodiac Academy. Brennan, I might read Zodiac Academy. Of course, I have to mention Jess from Books Past Bedtime. She's one of my OG friends, one of the first friends that I had here on BookTube. And what to say about Jess? I love her so much. She's smart and she's sharp. Does that make sense? Like she's just on it. Like she catches all of these things in books where it's like, actually maybe we should be talking about this if it is a problem, or like she's just very good at being sensitive to different people's well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. I'm just always amazed when Jess starts talking and she's like, this is a really important issue and I want everyone to be aware that that is in this book. I think that that just says so much about how empathetic of a person that she is and how kind-hearted she is, and I just get a kick out of her so much. She's also hilarious. Everybody that I'm gonna mention, hilarious people. Okay, we've got Manda from Ginger Snapped Reads. My heart, I love Manda. We are actually so similar, and like, not that I wouldn't have thought that, but I'm so happy that just being on BookTube has brought me to so many people that I would have never met, and I would have never known that this girl who lives in Michigan actually is exactly like me. And oh my gosh, she has the best romance recommendations, especially indie romance. She's just so beautiful. If you ever have a chance to hop on one of her lives, she can make me laugh harder on a live than anyone I've ever seen. She is just boom hilarious. Of course, I love Haley. He is the best thriller recommendations person on BookTube. She is another one who just has it all together. And I also love her blog. I love her Instagram page. Like every day is just fire picture after fire picture, and I don't know how she keeps it up. And I just mentioned about her thrillers, but like if you like my thriller recommendations, you have to subscribe to Haley, because I am not kidding. She has new videos every week where she's like, this is what you need to be reading and this is what you don't need to be reading, and I would let her lead me to the end of the earth with her thriller recommendations. That was so dramatic. I don't know about the end of the earth, Haley, but like I do trust you, girl. And then I also have to mention Savannah from Riveting Read. She is one of the nicest people that I have ever met. She is so sincere, and she's another one who I just trust her recommendations. She has really wonderful thriller recs as well as horror books, and we have really bonded over our love for horror, and she has so much patience with me of like, oh yeah, I'll buddy read that with you, and then she'll read the book and I won't, and I'm so sorry. But she is so sweet, so kind, and I love her content. So yeah, everybody that I've mentioned here, go check out all of their videos. I'm so sorry, like I feel like I have so many friends on here. I want to make a video soon where I just do an entire like small booktuber shout out video where I get to talk about all of my friends, because everyone that I have interactions with on here deserve the world. Like I have the nicest friends and I feel so lucky and so thankful. So yeah, all right, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.